Oh, yeah.
Good evening. Make it 6:31, and I will call the special call meeting of the Van Alstyne City Council to order. The minutes show that the meeting was posted in accordance with Texas Open Meetings Act, and we are online. And welcome to all those joining us online. If you all will join us in an invitation, Mr. Jasper.
Please bow their heads. Heavenly Father, we're here today, again, to conduct the business of the Van Alstyne City Council. As always, we ask for your guidance and the knowledge and wisdom and ability to carry out our duties as you would see fit. We ask you to continue blessing our community, always bless our first responders, our city staff, and especially our citizens, Lord. All this we pray in your Son, Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And for the pledges, we'll start with the U.S. flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to the Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you all for joining with us on those. Item 4 is a public hearing. We shall, main object tonight of our meeting is the budget for the 2020-21 operating budget. So item 4 is conduct a public hearing to hear comments for or against the proposed fiscal year 2020-2021 City Van Alstyne operating budget. I will at this time recognize our city manager who has a presentation, and we will take public comment at the end of that presentation.
I have a brief presentation I put in front of you also. It's too hard to see the screen. You can look at it on hard copy. The budget, we're just trying to maintain who we are today. We have a very prosperous community. We're financially stable, and we have an economically vibrant city. And that was the mission of this budget, is to continue that. We're going to use our resources carefully and make sure we do it understanding that we're using taxpayer dollars to operate our city. And we're going to continue to strive to provide high quality municipal services as we move forward. And we're making an investment in the people. As I told you in 2 different meetings, we're trying to start planning our future as a city 5 years from now, that operate like we're 5,000 people, somebody closer to 10 or 15,000 people, and getting those cornerstone individuals in our organization. Straight to the point, as it says here, the budget's balanced. The budget assumes a strong property tax growth rate that was originally developed using preliminary totals, and if you had your old sheet, your new sheet, you would find that about $10 million has gone up in our property tax values with the final assessed values having been received. That only translates to about $40,000 in operating income to the city, but it was a very good move. Our property tax values in the city went up 16.6%. That includes new development as well as assessed value increases. Budget assumes sales tax collections will continue on an upward climb. I am flattening the curve a little bit on that because I don't know, how long it can continue to climb at the rate it's climbing. We have our single largest month last month in sales tax collections than we have ever had. Including the holiday period, so it's a nice experience to have. Our proposed expenditures are very modest. We're dealing with needs versus wants as we move forward here. And those wants include things like we need new body cameras and car cameras for the police department, and new mower for fields and grounds. We're adding a fields and grounds employee with that additional money that we were going to come up with. I think I told you we had used that as soon as we found out how much it was. We're buying 12 new parks benches, which is in keeping with the parks master plan. I think that was the number 2 item asked for. So we're going to buy 12 park benches, but we're not going to use taxpayer dollars to make that happen. We're using parks dedication fees that were paid for with developers. We will expend the cost of the Central Social District Park. We're taking the income this year, but we're taking the expense next year because that's where it falls. We have tried every way in the world to get them both into the same year, but you really can't do it. So as long as we know it, we're fine. I'll show you how it appears in the financial statements. We're also funding a shared youth path, which will connect Georgetown to Forestmore Park. Once that's complete, the city will install a mile of shared use path within Van Alstyne in the last 24 months. So that's pretty monumental here. We'll hire 3 new firefighters, a chief financial officer, a code compliance officer who reported yesterday, and he is busy at work already, calling on a business down the street that is doing business in a residential neighborhood and dealing with a few other problems. We've got him out there working right away. We'll hire some water, wastewater workers and a part-time library worker. We're going to increase our street maintenance fund for paving streets and potholing and doing all those things as we move to a more proactive organization. So the spending on infrastructure, that goes up 24.8%. And the good news is this is no increase in the property tax rate that the city charges. So by not buying a lot of things, we're investing in the needs of our community. This also takes the very first step in developing a reserve for enterprise funds, and it starts the migration on our water billing calculations to a consumption base. So we're starting to tip that direction toward consumption-based calculations. And we have it collected, all the collected components are very, very conservative. I'm hoping if we're wrong on the low side, both in income and expense. So here's the timeline we follow. June 5th, the directors were given their budget sheets and marching orders. From the 22nd to the 26th, I met with all the department heads and we looked through their proposals. On the 20th of July, we received preliminary valuations for property tax calculations, and we were told we would not be getting final calculations until it was almost too late. That's why you're hearing about it tonight, as opposed to the last time we were together. On the 30th, we received the worksheet. August 6th, the general fund workshop was held with you folks. And on the 25th, tonight, we're having a public hearing, and if all approved or shake your head yes, we'll bring it to September 8th for a final vote. Proposed city tax rate, this is a slide that you all should be very proud of. In 2017-18, the city imposed tax rate, M&O and IS combined in 63.635138. 18-19, that went down to 0.595932. Last year it was 584456, and we're able to maintain that because of our increases in sales tax and property valuation. So it's a good news story on the tax rate. Positive budget impacts. Last year, our property values, $297,187,000. This year, $346,539,000. So an increase of $49 million is 16.6% over the prior year. Sales tax collection budget this year was $953,000. That's the city portion retained. And we're budgeting $1.2 million. That may be a little low. I hope it is. Everything works out really well. So here's where it goes. General fund revenue. We get 32% of our revenue from property taxes, delinquency fees on property taxes. We get 21% from development fees, community services fees, infrastructure, permit fees, zoning, etc. Sales tax represents 19% of our city, and as our city grows, that balance will change. We'll see more sales tax as a percent than property tax in time. Franchise fees, fines at the library, those people, they fine them like crazy, right, for library. And then others, which are grant revenue, things like that. We expend it. Police is at 22%, ours is 21%. Admin is at 19%. Those are the top three that represent the majority of our expenditures. Those are the side. Water and enterprise fund, to the left is our revenue. 40% for water, 33% for sewer, 6% from solid waste and sanitation solutions. Impact fees pays 21%. They were at gas that almost directly back out to developers to get infrastructure. On the expense side, water and sewer are almost even. It's very expensive to be in the water and sewer business. Probably not something you can do as a private individual. And then impact fees, you can see 20% of our expenditures are in impact fees, and they're 21% on the revenue side. So here's what changes. Oh, I don't think that one changed, did it? That slide?
No, it's not changed on the slide.
Shame on us. Let's see if I have my note. You can make a pen change on the other. General fund revenue is $5,603,581.20. I think that's pretty much the same. Expenditures, $5,588,030. So that changed a little bit from there. What changed when we were putting on the superintendent of fields and grants? So that's what happened. So that goes from 28,000 to 50,000. Still have a positive operating budget. Spending less than we're generating. That was the only change as it related to that in the total. Sales tax street fund goes from 191,000 to 238,000. That's, of course, an impact of sales tax. Where sales tax goes up, we take 0.125 of that and put it into this fund, and that's how we keep going. So we're planning on spending all but $275 of that, doing potholing and street paving and all those kinds of things. And municipal court revenue is kind of a break-even proposition, right? So we take in 19, we expend 16. Police seizures are really break-even. Debt service for $483,000. Our expense on that debt service is $432,000. So we keep, a positive balance in that account. Capital improvements, revenue $53,000. But here is the money that we're spending on the downtown park. It's $4,696,174. So we will receive the revenue next week. According to the unit traffic, I'd say we'll spend it out here. water fund. We're trying to do a positive net position in the water fund. We take in $4.5 million. On water, we spend $4,388,000, so positive $198,000. Debt service 30. Oh, I hit the right one. Yeah. Revenue at 33, expenditure at 32, so we're net zero. So, look, this is funny looking math, but I want you to understand it. Our total revenue, 10,700,450.82. Our expenses are 15,143,576, and we have a positive of 251. I love that math. You have to add to that is that expenditure that we're making for the park that we took from the revenue the year before. If you back that out of that number, we have a net positive budget for the year. If you have any questions on line items, I have my experts here to answer them. Otherwise, I'll pass for your line and report from here.
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you to all the department managers for being here tonight, but more importantly, for putting in the work to prepare the budget. I know it's condensed here and it represents many pages and many hours of reflection and calculation and debate and compromise on your all's part. So thanks for that. Jennifer, do we have any comments online?
No, sir.
All right, very good. Anybody online?
No, sir.
It's a safer question. Not yet. They have an option to watch later classes.
Yeah.
That's the question. Yes. Okay, so council persons. Now is the time to ask questions. This side of the table, everybody comfortable? Very good. Item 5 on our consider the public hearing to be closed. That was item 4. Item 5 is consider and take any action necessary regarding an ordinance adopting the fiscal year 2020-2021 City of Van Alstyne operating budget.
Just to clarify, we're required to take some sort of action after the public hearing. However, we cannot adopt the budget at this point. It has to be available to the public for 30 days, and we have not hit that 30-day mark yet. So staff would recommend tabling adoption of the budget until September 8th.
So what action would we be taking today?
Just a table.
I motion table.
We have a motion to postpone action on the budget until September 8th. This is the date. Is there a second? Mr. Gasky has seconded that. Any discussion on the motion to postpone action on the operating budget until a later date, being specifically September 8th? Hearing none, it's time to vote. All in favor of postponing action, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? That motion carries unanimously. Moving us to item 6, consider taking action necessary to set a public hearing date, time, and place regarding the property tax rate. So I mentioned that we have another meeting on the 8th, so I might recommend that. Motion is up to council.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to set the public hearing date for the property tax on September 8th.
September 8th at 6:30 at this location at City Hall. Very good. Is there a second for that motion? Mr. Jaska seconded that. All right. I want to comment that the public, that the tax rate, as Lane explained, is not increasing over last year, so very much appreciate that, as do our voters, I'm sure as well. So we have a motion and a second to hold a public hearing date for the property tax rate. This has to be a roll call vote, so if there's no further discussion on that, we will conduct the vote, and I will start waiting for that. Katrina, are you in favor or against the motion to hold a public hearing on the 8th of September? Lee? Four. That motion to hold a public hearing on the 8th of September has passed unanimously. Any other comments from anyone here at the table? Hearing none, it's time to adjourn. Does anyone like to make that motion?
So,
A motion and a second by Lee.
Pretty quick.
All in favor of adjournment, please say aye. Anyone want to stay later? The meeting is adjourned. Thanks again, Paul.
thank you, John.
Thanks for allowing me to ask.